Hi, my name is Michelle Daniels, and today I'm going to make Philadelphia Torta Italiana. It's going to feature Philadelphia cream cheese, basil, sun-dried tomatoes, garlic. It is incredible. It's beautiful to look at. You've got beautiful layers going through it, and it tastes awesome. Let's get started. We're going to start with about a cup of basil. You can use a food processor. I like to just use a mini food processor because I'm just doing a small batch. 2 cloves of garlic, and let's just try and chop this up a little bit. And then we'll throw in the rest of our ingredients a little bit at a time. Just going to do a light chop. Now we're going to throw in about a tablespoon of lemon juice, and I'm going to throw in about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We'll just kind of see how it blends together first. And if you're using a food processor, you're just going to want to do rapid little bursts on the food processor. I'm going to throw in a little bit of my Parmesan cheese. So I've got 1/8 cup of Parmesan cheese. Okay. This should be fresh, good quality Parmesan cheese. Now I'm going to throw in the Philadelphia cream cheese. I've got 2 ounces here. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. So once you've got it, nice creamy consistency, then we can transfer it into a bowl. And it doesn't matter if it hasn't all been blended so that it's all creamy, because it's okay to see some of the basil. And it's okay to see some of the pine nut. This smells so aromatic. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It is incredible. Very, very intense. Okay, now that we have the pesto made, the first time I had this appetizer, I had it at the holidays. And it's beautiful because you're thinking, you know, red, green, it's very festive looking. But actually, it makes a perfect summer appetizer. You've got the fresh basil from your garden, you've got sun-dried tomatoes, and now we're going to go into step 2. The sun-dried tomatoes paste, and the Philadelphia cream cheese layer. First, I'm going to put the sun-dried tomatoes into my little processor. I'm just going to do a little bit of a chop. Okay, and now I'm going to add the tomato paste. And I was using about 1/3 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. And now I've got tomato paste, which is about 4 teaspoons of tomato paste. Blend this till it's fairly smooth. And now I'm going to throw in Philadelphia cream cheese. Touch your food. And work with it. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of a stir here. Maybe even mash it a bit with a fork. Okay, I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir. I'm going to mix it around a little bit with a fork. You should always be using softened cream cheese. If you can just let it sit out and get to room temperature, that should be soft enough. If not, you can always pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. I'm going to throw a little bit of the sun-dried tomato oil in there. and just a touch of olive oil. Okay, now let's blend it again. Okay, this should be about ready to transfer into a bowl. And same thing applies with this. It doesn't matter if you see chunks of tomato. It's just easier to tell what it is. You don't want it to be just a glob of some color. It's nice to see chunks of the food that you're putting in here. That way people know what the ingredients are. I'm just going to do a little additional stir here. Smells incredible. The tomato is so vibrant. It really just captures all of the essence of summer. All the sunshine is right in that tomato. Okay, so now we've got this, and we are ready to move on to our cream cheese. So we've made our pesto, we've made our sun-dried tomato, and now we're going to move on to our Philadelphia cream cheese portion. This is actually the structure of the whole appetizer. When you see the layers, this is what holds it all together and makes it work. The cream cheese is really nicely softened. And now I'm going to throw in just a little bit, 4 tablespoons of butter. So a half a stick of butter and a cup of cream cheese. Now, at this point, you can mix it with an electric mixer, a hand mixer if you want to. I'm just going to use a whisk. And the addition of the butter just gives it a nice little added flavor. Also makes it really easy to work with. Make sure that you've got a nice even layer across the bottom. Oh, this smells so incredible. It smells just like the garden. So now I'm going to add a spoonful of pesto to the top of this. Then you're going to go back with your Philly layer. More in there. Okay, almost done. Depending upon the heat of your room and the conditions you're working in, if your ingredients tend to get really, really soft, they're going to be really hard to work with. So I just pop these in the freezer for about 5 minutes just to harden them up a little bit, and now that'll make it a lot easier to work with. We're going to continue with the sun-dried tomato layer. Same process, but see how easy it is to spread now that I've got that cream cheese layer is just firmed up nicely. I can just spread this over it. Get a nice layer in there. It's not particularly even, but that doesn't matter. It's going to taste great. And once they take that first bite, they're going to be in love. So we've got that. Now our final layer of cream cheese. Okay. Now I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, and I'm going to pop it in the freezer. Okay, notice you've got the beautiful layering. You've got the cream cheese, the sun-dried tomato, cream cheese, the pesto. When you put all of these together on a crostini, the flavors are each separate in and of themselves, but together they blend and they make this incredible, really intense, really flavorful, really summery, spectacular flavor explosion in your mouth.